What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Coach and Company podcast. We are here every single weekday to support the morning show. If you missed any of Coach and Company today on YouTube and socials, we are preempted on the Stadium Network all week long. I encourage you to go back and watch on demand while you are there. Hit that subscribe button, like, and please share the show every single day. We're adding a few more subs, and it feels really good as we continue to grow throughout the end of 2025. Now, joining me, as he does most days, from Sure Dog USA. Now, more importantly, from Coach and Company, my guy, Mikey P. And I got to start. This is becoming a habit. Two things over the weekend. First, our college football show. You continue 11 straight weeks without a loss in your upset special of the week, and that's against the spread. And then also your Bears, 31-28. Team total comes in. The over comes in. But more importantly, you're now in first place, big dog, for multiple weeks. How does it feel?
It feels great. And you know what? I've got a bone to pick with Big Tommy C on Monday Night Grind this evening because the New York Giants, you were right there. You could have just delivered a blow to the Detroit Lions. The Packers and Vikings, they could just beat on each other. I don't really care what happens between those two teams. But I'm always going to be a little scared of the Lions. It's a great win, but the rest of the schedule this year for Chicago is tough, minus the Browns game. But even then, they could be tough.
So you look at the schedule. This Friday, you get the day all to yourself. If you would ever want a wounded animal, the Philadelphia Eagles, this would be the week that you want them. It could go one of two ways. Philadelphia blowing a 21-point lead on the road in Dallas to their biggest rivals. They could come out like a wounded animal, or they could come out and say, this ain't happening again. Which do you think is more likely?
I think it's likely that the emotion will want them to play with their hair on fire and like they're angry and pissed off and they want to smack the Bears around. But for me, this is the most important. And I know I could say that moving forward for each and every week, but this is the most important game in the first year of head coach Ben Johnson for the Chicago Bears. And you have a team that's trying to find themselves in the Philadelphia Eagles. And then you have a team that wants to prove themselves in the Chicago Bears. So I think it's going to be a more fascinating matchup. And because I don't like to deflect, I do believe that the Eagles will come out ready to play. I just think I'm very intrigued to see how Chicago responds.
As you look at the schedule, there's only one game here against a non-playoff team, at least if the playoffs started today. But yet the Cleveland Browns are a team that all of a sudden everybody's talking about because of Shadir Sanders. They went out yesterday, 24-10. He looked very viable as a starting quarterback. So you've got at Philly on Friday. Then you got at Green Bay. Green Bay looked very workmanlike yesterday, I thought, against Minnesota, 23-6. Then you got Cleveland at home, then Green Bay at home. So you got Green Bay twice. They're the team that's right ahead of the Bears, right behind the Bears. And then you have at San Francisco and then home to Detroit. So this thing, if you're going to win this thing, Mikey, you're going to earn it.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be earned for Ben Johnson and Chicago Bears. I'm very much looking forward to the 3 games remaining in the division, but I think we'll know a lot about the Chicago Bears team, even if they lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, the manner in which they lose. Because I'll be honest, Coach, did not feel great taking on Mason Rudolph, of all players, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watt is an absolute beast. And I want to give him flowers, Coach. We didn't give a lot of flowers out, to players that often. TJ Watt passing his brother JJ Watt for the most sacks in family history. And he did so with their brother Derek Watt, who played 8 seasons in the league. He was in the crowd. Mom and dad were in the crowd. So a nice moment for the Watt family on Sunday.
Really, really, really cool. I think that family has been amazing role models, amazing players. And TJ will probably have a media career just like brother JJ does. It's amazing to me how the Kelseys, the Mannings have not only dominated the media space, but the marketing space, the commercial space, and all of these companies, like, they're safe. I got multiple brothers, multiple talents, and I've never seen a family have more commercials than the Mannings. I mean, it's obscene. But we would do it, wouldn't we? If we could get that many, 1,000%. Let's look at the other side of this thing of your game on Friday, because Philadelphia yesterday. And if people go back and watch the morning show, this was part of my weekend rewind rant, if you will, is there's losing games, Mikey, and then there's the way that you lose games. And the entire narrative the whole week for Jalen Hurts and the media in Philadelphia was, what's wrong with the offense? Why can't you guys score a lot of points like you did in years past, especially last year when the offense was humming when you won the Super Bowl? And Jalen Hurts was like, oh, no big deal. A.J. Brown was doubling down on his, but when it was 21-0, didn't you feel like, listen, all of that's going to go to bed. They're going to add another couple of touchdowns. It's going to be 35-10. But then they not only give up 24 straight points, but they had chance after chance after chance after chance. How devastating was it the way they lost to Dallas yesterday?
Beyond devastating, coach. And part of it is that they were the Dallas Cowboys were the more emotionally driven, the more motivated football team in that second half. If you just watched maybe or listened from the other room, all you heard was AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, AJ in the first quarter. And then all you heard after that was the Dallas Cowboys defense, Dak Prescott. They were willing to find a way to win that game. And if you're the reigning Super Bowl champions, you shouldn't have to scratch and claw your way to victory. But the Eagles, they didn't even put up a fighting chance. So that's a devastating loss. More questions are going to come after that game. And when Jalen Hurts says this should really fire us up, man, you guys should have been fired up from week one on.
No doubt. And I think a lot of fans, when they go, oh, coach, we're fine, or hey, Mikey P, we're good, when we get to the play, the offense is something you don't hit a switch and just flip on when you get to the playoffs. And oh, by the way, Mikey, there's only one bye. There's only one number one seed. And right now, that looks like it's going to be the Los Angeles Rams. They are firing on all cylinders, offense and defense. And you remember the Eagles sneaked by last year a couple of different times in the regular season and certainly in the playoffs. This offense is not good enough to win one playoff game, let alone multiple playoff games, is it?
I don't believe so. For this upcoming matchup against the Chicago Bears, one thing a lot of people did not notice or maybe pay attention to, the Bears had at least 5 or 6 starters out for the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All 3 starting linebackers, Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, their top 2 cornerbacks, did not play because I think the front office was looking at this Black Friday game. Why bring back our top 2 corners only to have them turn around on short rest? I believe TJ Edwards will be back this week. Johnson and Kyler Gordon could be back this week. And you're going up against a defense that has the most takeaways in the NFL. There is no amount of synergy you can get in 5 days to go up against a defense that is very reliable in the takeaway department. So I think it's going to be a very good test for the Eagles offense, and I don't think they pass it.
You are watching or listening to the Coaching Company podcast, Mikey P, excuse me, and I am the coach. It's amazing how many of these games kind of weave together because we had Philadelphia and Dallas yesterday. Then you got Chicago and Philly this coming Friday. Then you've got Dallas, who pulled off that incredible comeback. So you've got, and this was really the narrative across all the morning shows on Sunday. It was like, well, Dallas did score 33, but it was only against the Raiders. Dallas did add some defense, but it was only against the Raiders. Well, now that narrative is out the window because the Cowboys, the way they came back, Mikey, but they have no time to rest on any of these victories because who's coming to town on Thursday? Well, a team that saved their season also on Sunday and got it done in overtime, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs, who were down 11 in the fourth quarter, touchdown, 2-point conversion, field goal, and then they win it. They did it the hard way. So, Mikey, none of these teams have any time to sit back and go, whew, we're back in this thing because now they're playing each other on Thursday.
Who's more motivated? It was a very big emotional roller coaster inside Jerry's world, honoring Marshawn Kneeland, their passed away teammate. We all know that story. But and you're playing a divisional game in the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a rivalry game. But now both teams, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, kind of on the ropes, coach, but trying to have that puncher's chance to get into the playoffs to make a statement here at this point in the season. I am very, very interested to see who comes out with energy, We could break down player for player, strategy for strategy, but energy on Thanksgiving, national TV spotlight with two teams fighting for the playoffs, it's going to come down to energy for me.
And I think that helps, don't you? Whenever you have Christmas, which has become kind of a thing, not just in the NBA but also the NFL. If I'm a team and I need that energy, I want it to be Thanksgiving, because for whatever reason, when we get to this time of the schedule, holidays are amazing. Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming. You've got 6 weeks left. College football playoffs are coming to a head. This is where that helps me with that energy. But then if you're Dallas and you're the fan base, you must feel like you're sitting on the kind of a fence that you could tip one way or you get tipped the other way. Kansas City, the fans feel like, and I'm one of them, that we're playing with house money. We have 3 Super Bowl titles. We've been to other Super Bowls and lost. We've been to 9 straight AFC championship games. That's house money, Mikey. The Cowboys haven't done squadoosh since 1997. At what point does that narrative really start to become too much of an elephant in the room?
I got to give you all the props, coach, because you're absolutely right. This is actually a legacy game. Because you can speak for Chiefs fans, I will not. But what was the biggest thing coming into this NFL season that stole the headlines? The Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons away. How could they do that? And then you had the adversity that that struck their roster. And then they make trades, they bring in new defenders, and slowly but surely the Cowboys are coming around. I think a lot of Cowboys fans just want to say, stop talking about Micah Parsons. Let's focus on the team that we have. Maybe we can put ourselves in position to make the playoffs, and then nobody's talking about Micah Parsons anymore. Could you imagine a football world at the end of this season, coach, where the Packers miss the playoffs and the Cowboys somehow sneak in? I mean, Jerry Jones would have the last laugh, but that's what's on the line Thanksgiving. It's not the Chiefs' glory over the past few seasons and the Dallas Cowboys struggles. It's, can they put to rest the narrative of Micah Parsons being traded and them being a better team because of it?
What's interesting is that they are 2 full games up on the Cowboys, and tiebreakers are always head to head first and foremost. Unfortunately, their head to head was a tie. So they each have a tie on their record. So it's fascinating what it's going to look like down the stretch, as it were. 6 games left, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams, Mikey, that have at least 6 wins or more. Cowboys are at 5-5-1. So they have all of those teams ahead of them by at least 1 game, if not multiple games. You almost would have to say, if they have more than at least 7 losses, I don't think that's getting in this year. And I haven't looked at all the matchup to map it all out, but it feels like to me you've got to be at least 10-6-1 to get a wild card spot. Is that crazy?
No, that's absolutely the goal. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you got to be 10-6-1. 7 losses, you're out. I think it's as simple as that. The NFC is too competitive. The NFC West is very, very good. The NFC West and NFC North are going to be battling not only each other, but the divisions as a whole to see which team is going to, or which division is going to send more teams to the playoffs. It's going to be a very interesting battle down the stretch.
8-7-7 from the North, 9-8-7 from the West. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be really, really fascinating. Speaking of fascinating, and this is sometimes, as a person who does this, and yourself included, it's, you've got to have very thick skin, because we do content. Other people watch our content and then they comment on our content. And we had some people in our universe, some people outside. Why are you talking about Shadir Sanders? He's a 5th round pick. What has he ever done? It's an entertaining story. It's a really entertaining story. This kid was entertaining at Colorado, and I don't care what anybody says, Mikey. The whole watch gimmick, driving a $300,000 car, which not even an adult should ever have, but he had it at 19, 20 years old. The kid is interesting. And then he's got such an arrogant ego in a good way that after 1 game, he's out there going, hey, I'm not going to fail. That's not going to happen. They want me to. That ain't going to happen. Mikey, this kid is as polarizing as they come. And he got a 14-point win on Sunday. Where does this kid go for start number 2?
Well, let's just hope that Shedeur Sanders doesn't look back and go, I got Chip Kelly fired. No. That was the 10 sacks by your Browns defense, Shedeur. That was not your play. Listen, I love this, coach. And you know me, I've been with the brand now for a while. I love the drama. I love the pettiness. I love the narrative that is Shedeur Sanders, because I'm going to look way back to when I was in my 20s. It wasn't that long ago, but Johnny Manziel was the flavor of the Cleveland Browns. But you knew from day one, Johnny Manziel was going to be a problem in Cleveland. Never thought 1 + 1 would equal 2 and you could be a problem in Cleveland, but he was. Shedeur Sanders is not going to be a problem in Cleveland, meaning off the field headlines and this and that. People want to see him fail because he's Deion Sanders' baby boy. And
Yep.
he's confident within himself, but he's a 5th round pick. That's fine. We need to stop labeling these players before they even step on the field by when they and where they were drafted. So I'm all in on Shedeur Sanders. The talent is obviously there, but most importantly, stop me if you've heard this before, coach. If the coaching staff aligns with the quarterback and they have the right game plan in mind, which they did, lean on the run game, lean on the defense, Shedeur Sanders can win football games in the NFL.
The smart people have been saying that since he was not drafted. And I think that it really drove some people nuts yesterday, because a lot of sports fans and NFL fans, they like to make it one way. What you said is not fun. It's not sexy. Let's run the ball, hit some third down passes, control the clock, shorten the game, we can win. And they did that by 14 points. It's a very simple formula. He's not a simple guy. So I think fans don't want that, because that doesn't get clicks. That headline, but it wins you games. It wins you games. And then also, they don't like the fact that they were wrong, that everybody that dropped him down, all 32 teams said, we don't need him 4 different times. All 32 teams said, we don't need him. Then he goes out there and he looked very calm, looked like he belonged. Haters are going to hate. Now, is he going to be the next Tom Brady, Mikey? Yeah, come on. But I think he's viable. And isn't it funny how at the beginning of the year, you and I were talking right here on this show, they had 4 quarterbacks in camp, maybe 5, and he was like the last one. We said, hey, attrition, baby. The one will fall off. Deshaun didn't come back. There goes Dillian. There goes Joe Flacco to the all of a sudden, wait a second. You're at the front of the line. Isn't it funny how that works in the NFL sometimes?
Yeah, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, and Mr. Fifth Man, Shedeur Sanders. I'll say this. I believe the Cleveland Browns franchise will be better off moving forward with Shedeur Sanders. You're going to get more media attention. I believe this fan base will now believe in him because the way they performed with him on the field. I know they beat the Raiders, but a win in the NFL. You don't apologize for wins in the NFL. Bears quarterback Caleb Williams said that after beating the Steelers, and he's absolutely right. So I think Shedeur Sanders, and you can have one of two things here, coach. You could have Shedeur Sanders go, hey, Deshaun Watson, welcome back. Hold my clipboard. Or Shedeur Sanders can say, hey, while you were out, I got to campaign for other jobs around the National Football League. Cleveland, you want to trade me? Thank you for the opportunity. So I think Shedeur Sanders is in a great spot at the beginning of his career.
Such a great point by you, that he gets to audition for other teams in real games. That's a huge thing. Not preseason games and not practice, real games. It's really, really fascinating. Quickly, I just had something texted to me. Oh goodness. Just a few things from the chat. You know how it is, Mikey. Go Bears from Cubby Drew. You're now getting your own fan base in the chat. Quickly before we get out of here, and me, Mikey, and Raphael and Big Tom will be back for the Monday Night Grind tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight, Carolina and San Francisco. Huge matchup in the NFC. The Panthers are 6-5. Their bye week does not come until week 14. So they can get to 7-5 tonight and be clear and above, obviously just a half game in their division. But the Bucs look like anything, Mikey, but a first place team. And when you look at Bryce Young, 31 of 45, 448, 3 touchdowns. Rico Dowdle, not a huge day on the ground, but he still had 55 yards receiving. McMillan, 8 for 130. I said throughout the week, nobody knows any of these guys. Like I'm Leggett, 83 yards. Who is that? This is the team of the unknowns. Will they be known after tonight?
They should be. That Rico running back is quite the guy. I'll just start with that. Coach, I've learned a lot from you as part of being in this brand, and I've learned you never just pat yourself on the back. And I've been waiting because I haven't mentioned it at all throughout this football season because I've been waiting for the right opportunity. If you rewind the tapes to our NFL preseason look ahead, yours truly did say the Carolina Panthers could compete for the NFC South Division title, and they're doing just that with Ted McMillan, Xavier Legette, and Bryce Young. I was so in on the Bryce Young no-look pass that he kind of got glorified in last year. And I was like, oh, Bryce Young's the future. I want to like the Carolina Panthers, Coach. They reset the Chicago Bears franchise for the next 5 to 10 years. I love the Carolina Panthers, but I think the San Francisco 49ers roll in this one.
Roll in this one. Roll in this
And
one.
what I mean by that, let me say this. What I mean by that is I believe the Panthers can cover. This morning, the line was at 7.5. When I say roll, I believe the Panthers can cover, but the 49ers will hold the clock. They'll manage the game. They won't give Carolina a lot of opportunities for these unknown players to kind of jump into a spotlight, so to speak.
So basically, you want both sides of the coin. You want to say roll, so if it's a blowout tomorrow morning, you can be like, see, I called it. I said roll. Or you can be like, hey, I just said roll as in the offense will roll down the field and have a workmanlike victory over Carolina. That's what I feel like you're trying to have both sides of the toast, so to speak.
You're not calling me Switzerland, are you? You're not calling me neutral, are you?
You might be Switzerland. You might be.
I never.
Don't get hot. Now, I will say this. At San Francisco, then the Rams next week. These next two games before the bye, it's going to say a lot. But what they have really in their favor is they have 2 games left. 2 of their last 3 is against Tampa. But sandwiched in between is Seattle, who's also at that time going to be playing for a playoff berth. So if Carolina is going to make it to the playoffs, it might be to win their division with a horrible record or 8-9, something like that, because this schedule right here, it ain't doing it. It's going to be tough. All right, Mikey, looks like we have oh my God, Carter in the chat. Hey, we like everybody to express themselves however they see fit. So it is I got so many.
I can't.
Like I'm just looking at some of these.
Coach, it is a holiday week. A lot of people off from school, off from work. We appreciate them all joining us. But if they're finding us for the first time, let it go.
If this is the first time you're finding us, this is not normally what we do. Just having some fun today. By the way, shout out to my man John Grega, coach. Thank you. I am a legend. Sometimes I forget that. I have to be reminded because I deal with people like Big Cheesy on the regular. That's my life right now. I used to deal with the likes of The Rock and Stone Cold. Now it's Big Cheesy, and I do love Walsey, though. I love Walsey. It's my guy. Just not in a robe ever again. All right, Mikey, tease the good people what we have coming up tonight on The Grind.
Monday Night Grind, we got Ball Don't Lie, which is always a fascinating trivia question between Big Tommy C and Raphael. But let's not bury the lead. The New York Giants fired their defensive coordinator. And wait, it's almost like if you're at the Ocean, Coach, if you just put your ear a little closer, you can hear Tommy C thanking the football gods already. So it should be a great show. And of course, first quarter plays from yours truly.
Oh my God, you and your freaking first quarter plays. But hey, it's become a staple of The Grind, baby. A staple of The Grind. All right, that's going to do it for now. I still have a couple more shows to get to. We still have Off the Ropes today if you're a SiriusXM listener. Mikey, you can get SiriusXM, I believe, free until December 8th, I think. I had a bunch of people text me and tweet me, hey, I'm listening to your show in the car right now. We get it for free. Guess what? It's worth whatever that costs. I don't know. What is Sirius? $14.99, something like that?
T-Mobile, I'll do you one better, Coach. T-Mobile users, I believe up until tomorrow, they can get a 6-month free trial through the T-Life, the T-Mobile Perks rewards. So why lose out on 6 months of Off the Ropes with the coach when it's there for free?
You said it. I have to change from Verizon now, damn it. And my guy from Landman is doing the commercials for T-Mobile too. I never thought I'd be a huge fan of his. Now he's like, this is my number one show. You saw they got 10 million views on week 1 of Landman. Allie Larder's on that show. I haven't seen her since, what was it, Friday Night Lights? What was she like the heartthrob of 25 years ago? You might not have been born yet.
Well, I was born. I just don't know what
You
she
don't know
was
the movie
famous.
that she was in?
No,
All
and
right.
I've got so many shows that I'm like waiting on right now, and I will continue to say this until it goes off the air this season. Mayor of Kingstown is hands down, all due respect to Landman, Jeremy Renner and Mayor of Kingstown is the absolute best show.
I'm a big fan of Mayor of Kingstown.
I love
But
it.
I promise you, Landman is right there. Because Taylor Sheridan is like do you know who Taylor Sheridan is?
Yeah, he's great. He's
He's
behind all
great.
these shows.
Yeah, he's become like the guy that does all the Law and Orders. But when you see him, because he's also the guy behind The Road with Kenny Chesney and the other Blake Shelton, and I thought it would be like this older, like dude that's been around forever. Dude, he is jacked. He's like if you look at him, you go Montana rancher. Like when you see him, you're like, hey, that dude's a badass. And the first time I was like, I saw him on the road. I was like, that's not what I expected from Taylor Sheridan. He just signed like $200 million to leave Paramount Plus and go to, I think Amazon.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he's in the industry because his shows hit after hit after, and I'm not one for like the Western type shows, but he crushes it. And then after Mayor of Kingstown, Coach, I'm a little disappointed you didn't mention everyone's
Tulsa
favorite.
King.
Yes. Hey, Coach, don't forget about me.
Every time, like last week, it's a 2 or 3 week run. He's my favorite black guy. Oh my god. He's in all the Capital One commercials with Barkley, and oh my god, he's super famous. Help me out here. He's in the Capital One commercials with Magic and Barkley and all of them.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you, Samuel L. Jackson. Good Lord, that's so embarrassing. Samuel L. Jackson is in the last 2 episodes of Tulsa King. Can you imagine shooting that scene with Sylvester Stallone and Samuel L. Jackson? Like I'd be like, I'm shaking.
Yelling at Sylvester to get his lines out.
Yeah, it's like, can you get it right, please? Oh, hey, Samuel, what are you doing here? You spared my life? Thank you. Now let's go knock down some doors at a hotel that opens to the outside. Oh my goodness. And then we'll shoot it with a silencer. How about that? Let's go do it. You know my Sly Stallone story, don't you? My wrestling story. I've never told you that story.
No.
Years ago, I'll make it quick. Years ago, Hulk Hogan was being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, which doesn't actually exist, by the way. There's no building for the Hall of Fame. But we were going through a phase where we were putting it on TV. So we had an hour-long special, and there was like 6 people that were going to be inducted from 8 to 10. 10 to 11 was all Hulk. And the big Shangri-La was Sly Stallone inducting at around 10:45, 10:48. Well, your boy was the voiceover guy saying, coming up next, we're going to induct Stone Cold, whoever it was, right? So I'm sitting backstage as the voice right next to Vince McMahon. We get to 10 o'clock, no Sly. 10:15, 10:30, not even a breath. So now we're starting to get a little worried. And Vince is cussing up a storm. Coach, and this is what everybody's like, what was it like to be so close to him for all those years? I was like, super rich billionaires, Mikey, they need a punching bag. They always have somebody in their inner circle that when they don't want to yell at that guy, they yell at that guy. I was that guy. So if The Rock got in trouble, Coach, it was your fault. Somebody else got, Coach, it was your fault. That was so he enjoyed having me around. Me, not so much. But he's now cursing Sly Stallone up and down. Coach, this is ridiculous. No respect for the business. This is effing this, effing that. And he goes, so where is he? And I said, Vince, I am not friends with Sly Stallone. I have no clue. So we go to commercial break, and I'll go, coming up next, the moment has arrived. The induction of Hulk Hogan by none other than Sylvester Stallone. He's still not there yet when I say that. So now we're panicked. So we go to commercial, 3.5 minutes. Almost as if his timing was impeccable. He rolls up in a limousine, all good to go. He walks in. Vince goes from mother effing him to Sly, my dog. Man, I missed you. How you been? Hey, we need you out there right now. And Sly goes, all right, where's my speech? Where's my teleprompter? There, we don't use those. Never seen a teleprompter. He then gets pissed at Vince. Are you kidding me? You asked me to come here and introduce Hulk, and I don't have a speech? You don't have anything written on there for me? I'll try to make it good, but I'm really not prepared. He goes out there and kills it. Absolutely kills it. Talking about Rocky 3 and when Hulk came onto the set and how everybody, oh man. But I've never seen two giants more fake when the other one wasn't around than Vince McMahon and Sylvester Stallone. And I just happen to be there as a voice guy.
The biggest takeaway I have from that, Coach, is when Coaching Company, the brand, takes off and you become said billionaire, I'm going to be the punching. I look forward to being the punching bag. I can't wait.
You're in the right seat, big dog. You're in the right seat. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, we got to get the hell out of here. I will see you tonight. I'll see everybody on our shows throughout the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're traveling today and you're traveling to grandma's house or family, be careful. A lot of people out there on the road, a lot of people traveling this week. In the meantime, we love each and every one of you. For Mikey P, producer man, I am the coach. We'll see you next time right here on Coaching Company, the podcast.